This week in Jamaica Now, matching the mansions, how Holness's castle compares with others in Western Jamaica. The opposition leader says every poor man should have one. Private sector happy the Prime Minister has called off election plans for this year, what they want in the interim. Mistaken identity. Robbers attack Vice Principal and her daughter before taking them to hospital. DPP concedes she blundered in Shernet Haughton contract scandal. Now the former mayor could face criminal charges. And Health Minister invites former Doctors Association head for talks. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
We had such a fun season, didn't we, Trix?
Of course we did. Remember the time when we spoke to Miss Jamaica Universe?
Charlene Radley, honey.
Yes! The last song you played on your iPod. Tell me what that is.
All right. Actually, hold on. Can I play it for you?
Definitely.
All right. It's Dancehall Queen by Beanie Man. You know it?
So
you must know it. Hold on.
I'm Caroline Brown and this is Jamaica Now. The issue of the Beverly Hills mansion of opposition leader Andrew Holness again dominated social media this week after Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips again hammered Holness from a political platform. Phillips revisited the matter as he addressed the PNP mass rally in Black River, St. Elizabeth. In Granville, St. James, Holness told Laborites he would not respond to Phillips, but he said every poor man should have a mansion. According to Holness, his house was the product of ambition and hard work. In the meantime, it appears that Holness's mansion pales in comparison with others in Montego Bay and its environs. Roving through some parts of the western city, a Gleaner photographer captured several houses that appeared more extravagant than Holness's. And on the campaign trail last week, the Southwest St. Elizabeth MP Hugh Buchanan left comrades in shock when he introduced the JLP's Bobby Montague as the PNP chairman.
Comrade Chairman of the People's National Party, Comrade Robert Bobby Montague, put your hands together for the chairman of the PNP. Forgive me, comrades. Comrade Robert Pickersgill.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has announced that an election will not be held this year, and the private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, is happy. PSOJ President William Mafood says a December election would have impacted business during the usually lucrative Christmas season.
I think that it's wise at this point to not have the election before the end of the year. I think from a business standpoint, there are a lot of retailers and small businesses who depend on this time of year for critical part of their business. So the instability that may be surrounding an election or the uncertainty related to when the election is actually going to be called now is behind us. And I think it all goes well for the business community.
Mafood also says going forward, there needs to be a fixed election date to eliminate uncertainty. The Prime Minister says she is delaying the election because she first wants the publication of the November 30 voters list and a special touch from God. And several major national stakeholders have outlined 5 key items on which they are seeking commitments from the leaders of the 2 main political parties going into the next general election. They want commitments on fiscal responsibility, price stability, the social safety net, public-private sector partnerships, and the ease of doing business. The stakeholders, comprising business leaders and representatives from academia and civil society, have written to Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and opposition leader Andrew Holness about the commitments. They say the commitments will go a far way in assuring that Jamaica's sacrifices under the IMF program will not be in vain. Mistaken identity is believed to be behind a gruesome attack that left the vice principal of the Fair Prospect High School and her teenage daughter hospitalized. Andrea Moore was reportedly stabbed 17 times, while her 18-year-old daughter was stabbed 9 times. The mother and daughter were home when intruders broke in and demanded that they hand over guns they said belonged to the educator's husband. They proceeded to stab the woman and her child before realizing they were at the wrong house. The attackers then reportedly used the woman's car to take her and her daughter to hospital before abandoning the car in Yala St. Thomas. The Director of Public Prosecutions was in for more criticisms this week after conceding that she blundered in April when she ruled that former Lucy Mayor Shernet Haughton could not be charged in the Hanover Parish Council contracts scandal. In her ruling, the DPP, Paula Llewellyn, had said despite overwhelming evidence of nepotism in the award of contracts to relatives and friends, the former mayor could not face criminal charges because nepotism was not an offense under Jamaican law. However, the Office of the Contractor General (OCG) disagreed with the ruling and filed an application in the Supreme Court seeking a judicial review. When the matter was called up in chambers, the DPP presented an affidavit reversing its earlier position. Llewellyn has explained that her decision to withdraw her original position came during discussions with consulting attorney Lord Anthony Gifford and the Chief Parliamentary Counsel after the Contractor General served his court documents on her office. She says the consultations revealed that Haughton might have breached the procurement regulations by failing to declare her relationship to the 22 people to whom contracts were awarded totaling some $3.7 million. A new study is suggesting that the mosquito-borne virus chikungunya may lead to severe brain infection and even death in infants and people over age 65. The study, published in the Neurology Journal, reviewed a chikungunya outbreak on Reunion Island off the coast of Madagascar in 2005 and 2006. Still on health matters, the Health Minister Horace Daly has invited the immediate past president of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, Dr. Alfred Dawes, for talks. Dr. Dawes has charged that over the years, political appointments at the ministry has served to undermine the country's health care and the best interest of Jamaicans. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Caroline Brown, and as we go, reactions from comrades in Black River, St. Elizabeth, where Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller announced on Sunday that there would be no elections this year.